Hi everybody. We are trying this again. We've had some technical difficulties. This is what happens when I, Jess, am here alone. But we are joined here today for another edition of our Vida VeganCon speaker series. And we are joined here with Bianca Phillips of Vegan Crunk, who is awesome, and we are so delighted that she's joining us for a third conference this May. Hey Bianca!
Hi.
Yay! um, we wanted to say, what's up? What's new? We are talking to right now, I've been cookbook author, contemporary journalist, and one of the people who just been blogging inspiration since like the mid 2000s. So please tell us what's new with you, girl.
Well, so I just got back from Seattle Veg Fest, where I actually saw you, Jess, and I saw Michelle. But I was
About that.
there doing a book signing for my cookbook, and yeah, that's about the only news like lately. But uh, is this still working?
We just got stuck on something weird. Well, let
um,
me ask you, have you been on any, adventures or road trips or opened a food truck or, started on 8 more cookbooks since we last saw you in 2013?
I am a couple of years in the works, and I took a whole year off last year, but I'm back on it now. And it's going to be a collection of veganized, trendy foods from the past century. So it'll be organized by decade. So yeah, so the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and just cool stuff from those decades on doing the 70s and sort of wartime foods from the 40s. So
That's so.
that's happening. There's no deadline yet, but I'm working on it.
What decade is the most intriguing to you lately?
Well, right now, I when I first started doing it, I was kind of working on it like all over the place, and I've started kind of going decade by decade now. So the one decade that I was really neglecting was 1900 to 1910 because the food is so different and so weird.
Wow.
But I've really been working that section more lately. But I found a great book that's full of old restaurant menus from that era, and so that's been really fun to try to recreate some of these weird. Their food was weird back then, so it's been fun to veganize. It was very meat heavy,
Yeah,
so
what's the
veganizing that
weirdest
stuff
thing
has
that
been.
you had to go veganize so far?
I made so raw hamburger steak was a thing back then.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I made like but I thought, raw burger for vegans is just like, raw food, nut burgers. So I kind of took a nut burger and kind of made a raw nut burger steak out of that. So it really wasn't as weird to make that vegan as it is to actually eat like raw burger,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
really,
disgusting. So
I feel like I could just go eat a raw nut burger at a restaurant around the corner right now. So,
yeah,
but I
so
totally
it
want
was actually easier to turn that into a vegan thing.
to.
Yeah.
Well, it's so neat. Well, we want to ask you, since you have so much going on and in the normal world that you live, how do you balance everything that you do?
Um,
What?
I'm really good with time management, I guess. Like for my blog, I blog every Sunday through Thursday, and the way I make that work is I just make a schedule. So I have blog posts scheduled every week, and if I'm reviewing a new book or a new product, I will put it on the schedule so I know when I have to have that done by. So it's all about just like setting deadlines for myself. Which since I work at a newspaper in real life, deadlines are my life anyway. So I
Wow.
guess I'm just kind of working on a deadline. That kind of helps. With the cookbook project, it's such a side thing that I really haven't given myself a deadline with it, and that's why it's taken me so long. But I should probably impose some deadlines on myself for that.
I mean, hey, what's the rush? Make it wonderful, right? That's so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I know you're just like talking about it like it's so routine, I think it's so motivational to hear you talking about just making, deadlines or blog posts because, you know, myself included, there's so many people who just never find the time anymore. And now I'm like, oh, that does make sense. That would be a thing to do.
Yeah. And I have a set time of day. I blog every night around 10 o'clock. So that's just sort of like my routine is that like no matter what I'm doing, before I go to bed, I have to blog.
That's
So,
awesome.
and only on weekend or
Dick.
week, none because weekends at 10 o'clock I'm probably going to be drunk somewhere. So I only do that on weeknight.
Well, that sounds like what you're gearing up
Yeah.
for your class. So,
Yeah. So do we talk about my class?
yeah, that's research. So, yeah, I love to hear, again, just everyone knows you're joining us for a third Vida Vegan Con, and there's really only a select few who can say that, of course. So we're so stoked that you're coming. We know you're doing a demo on Friday at our new vegan bazaar on, DIY kombucha and home brewing. And I have to tell you, Bianca, people are getting really excited about that one. And so on Saturday, or I'm sorry, on Sunday afternoon, you're doing a class on the ethics of vegan dining and boozing. Tell us, what do you have in store for these presentations, and what are you looking forward to?
Okay. For the demo, I've been brewing kombucha now for probably 3 years, I guess, and I just keep a batch going at all times. And so I've learned a lot about what works and what doesn't work and what flavors work best. And so I'll just be I'm going to be driving to Austin instead of flying, so I can bring scobies and weird stuff with me. So
Cool.
yeah, so I'll bring some of that stuff and just demonstrate how to make it and talk about scobies. And then I've also been lately brewing my own ginger beer. It's kind of a new thing for me, but I'm also going to do a little bit of demo on that as well because homemade ginger beer is delicious.
That sounds so
So
good. I've heard people talking about that, but I have yet to do it myself, so I'm excited for your demo.
yeah. And then on the class for Sunday, we're just gonna. I kind of want to start out like I want it to be an open discussion, sort of, but I'm going to start out with a little talk about my own ethics of vegan dining and boozing. So questions like when you go out to eat, how many questions do you ask the server? Do you ask if there's eggs in the burger or the veggie burger or the bun, or do you not ask questions and just hope for the best?
Mhm.
I call that the don't ask, don't tell vegan. So, or as far as like drinking, like for myself, I will only buy vegan wines
Mhm.
as far as like buying a bottle in a liquor store. But when I go out, if someone offers me a glass of wine, I'm probably going to drink it and just kind of hope for the best. So, but everyone has their own thing, and so we're going to talk about that. I have a little game we're going to play, and then I want to open it up for discussion and have everyone discuss their ethics and why they do the things they do. Because I think, like for me, not asking a lot of questions in a restaurant is, I feel like when you ask a lot of questions, it makes veganism seem hard, and maybe turns off people, servers or your friends who are there dining with you might think, oh, veganism is too hard. I don't want to do that. So there's a balance there, and I want us to talk about that balance, how we
That's
handle
a
those
great
things.
conversation. I'm so glad that you're bringing that out because there's so many different sides to that. Like, I know I've been, at times been the more like militant person, and then been more, aggressive, or just been more, terrified to ask. And then what do you do in work settings versus, if you're out at 3 a.m. So
Sure.
yeah,
And
that's
those things definitely vary too. Yeah.
well. What's your favorite question to ask a server at a non-vegan restaurant? What's your go-to to start with?
Um, well, it may depend on, because so some places will have, a vegan menu or vegan options on the menu that are clearly marked. But if I don't see those things on a menu, I will often ask, you know, is there anything on this menu that you know can easily be made vegan? Because sometimes they may have already dealt with this before if a vegan has eaten there before and they've tailored a dish, or sometimes some places they may not have a vegan option on the menu, but the chef, makes special vegan things on request. And so I will ask that first to find out if there's any secret vegan stuff that I can get that isn't on the menu. So
Maybe we can take you out and you could like do this in person in Austin. We can all like video like do the how-to guide with Bianca. Like a great
yeah.
one that runs a little smoother than our first two attempts here. So well, let
Right.
me ask you, as a three-time attendee, what stands out to you in the past? Are there any memorable classes or speakers that you've experienced at Vida Vegan Con that wants you to come back with us again?
Yeah, no, I've there's been so many great memories from Vida Vegan Con. I mean, as far as classes go, I would say Issa's iPhone photo class last time like I actually take most of my photos from my blog on my phone. I have a nice Nikon that I hardly ever use. Um,
Wow.
so, but it's just easy to use my phone. So I learned a lot of tips in that workshop and some apps that I didn't know existed. So, plus Issa's hilarious, so it was great to listen to her. Um, and then Susan V's photo workshop last year, or 2013, I guess, was also incredibly helpful just to see how she does it because her photos are beautiful and just to kind of see like how they're set up. Um, and I think Hannah Kaminsky's food styling workshop in 2013, they're all from 2013, I guess because my brain doesn't go back as far as 2011.
The first one just blurs together for me now, so
Yeah.
in a good way, in the most fun way possible. But yeah, I'm excited. We've got Issa's a little busy running, a restaurant now, but Hannah and Susan are both coming back to do those similar but kind of new steps on those workshops again. So that's pretty cool.
Right. That's awesome.
Yay! Well, we wanted to ask you for your road trip that you're bringing to Austin. Tell us what you have planned. How do you survive as a vegan on a road trip? What are you up to?
Well, so I think it's about a 9 or 10 hour drive from Memphis.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
and I usually, yeah, before I leave for a road trip like that, I usually kind of research like major cities along the way, so I'll know where I can stop for lunch or whatever. But
where are
as
you
far
gonna
as
stop?
our snacks, I haven't looked yet to see where I need to stop. So,
Oh, sorry.
um, but I will bring tons of snacks. I always carry like when I'm doing a road trip, I always have like a giant thing of popcorn because if I'm getting sleepy and I can just eat popcorn and that wakes me right back up. I know I can't fall asleep whenever my mouth is busy chewing. So um, yeah, so I'll definitely have lots of popcorn, probably some vegan jerky, and I always carry bars with me because you never know when you might need bars.
What type of bars do you like?
Um, I have a ton of favorite bars, but my favorite, like the raw, like date and nut bars, kind of like the Lara bars or other ones that
Yeah.
are like those. Naked bars are really good, but and then the Vega protein bars are great. So I'll carry a variety of those just in case.
That is super exciting. Well, tell us, have you been to Austin before?
I haven't. I'm really excited. I've actually got a Pinterest board that I started of places to eat while I'm there.
Oh my God, can you
Um,
send that? Can you send that to us? I mean, I vaguely understand
yeah.
Pinterest, so I would love to get that up there. Just
Okay. Yeah.
so
I've just been
cool.
taking things that I've seen on people's blogs and stuff, and I've kind of Googled around like vegan Austin and just found like the vegan ice cream shop that I'm
Oh
going
yeah,
there.
very cool. That they
So
are super.
excited.
They might be. I think they it sounds like they're coming to the bazaar, so maybe you guys could hook up for some like kombucha
Oh,
floats.
good.
You.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
Well, let me ask you, in terms of the book that you're working on, is there besides decades, is there a particular cuisine that you're really excited about these days?
Well, not so much for my book, but I've got Kitty's Tough Love book that just came
Oh,
out, and
yeah.
I've been almost cooking exclusively from that for like 2 weeks now. I
Oh,
tried like 10 recipes so far, and it's like all I want to eat right now. So I go
amazing.
through phases, but right now I'm going through a Kitty Ethiopian phase.
I love to think of all these people like who've just never experienced, those type of spice profiles before, just like their minds are being blown. Like there's this whole new world that's being opened for them. That's so exciting. Well, let me ask you, what other upcoming projects and appearances do you have going on?
Well, as far as appearances, I don't have that much besides Vida Vegan Con coming up in May. I've got a couple of local things. I'm going to be doing a book signing and a demo at our local library next week,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
yeah, and I'm going to be speaking to a literary club, a ladies' literary club next month, which is just like some older ladies that are not vegan. Um, but I'm going to talk to them about vegan food. So just some local Memphis stuff, but not any. I don't have any more veg fests coming up or anything. So
Well,
just
what
be
is
the vegan con. I'm super excited about it.
happening in Memphis these days?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How's the vegan scene in Memphis?
Oh, it's great. I went vegan 10 years ago here, and there wasn't hardly anything to eat here as far as dining out. And now we have three vegan restaurants and several places that have vegan menus. So we have quite a bit more than we had back then. It's pretty easy to be a vegan in Memphis these days.
That's
So.
so great. Well, what stands out as something you cannot get anywhere else?
We have a place called Imagine Vegan Cafe. That's like my favorite place ever. I eat there once a week.
That's so
Um,
good.
and they have this slam giant fluffy biscuits, and they're like cut in half and then topped with gravy and vegan cheese and vegan sausage and tofu scramble, and it's the greatest like hangover breakfast ever.
Well, let
It's
me
so good.
um and just so I mean for the folks who are watching, and I'm sure we don't have anyone live right now, but people will watch when we record on YouTube. Hi everybody in the future. I wanted to let everyone know, we did have some technical difficulties, so I'm going to wrap it up a little bit. But Bianca, where else can we catch you online these days?
Well, my blog, which is Vegan Crunk, so it's just vegancrunk.blogspot.com. And that's really it.
Okay, no worries. I don't know if you had like 8 secret blogs you suddenly wanted to reveal to all of us.
So
um, that's okay. Well, Bianca, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy workday to chat with everybody. We adore you, and we're so glad that you're coming back to tackle these two topics at the next Vida Vegan Con next month. So,
thanks
thank
for having
you.
me. I'm super excited.
You're so awesome. And again, I really like your shirt. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So everybody, you can catch us at VidaVeganCon.com. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.